Before we get started, let's just say that I hope your Labor Day weekend was above your expectations and that it was enjoyable. Last episode, we looked at the 5 favorite tools you chose by your views. I was pleasantly surprised at some of the choices made by you. I must admit that from the point of creating videos, sometimes it's hard to find something that will be of interest. Some videos will receive a good number of views when I thought I was doing a specifically targeted video. Then other videos that I thought would have mass appeal received crickets, that is, a lower viewership than expected. I know that some days the viewership numbers are influenced by the phases of the moon and which direction the wind is blowing. I see it in my own watching of videos. It's just part of life. So you already know by the thumbnail, I will be listing my 5 favorite tools. It will not be based upon usage. That would give the results a different skew. These are the 5 tools I like using the best. I hope you stick around and see if you agree with my choices. Hi, I'm Scott Bain. They call me the Old Farmer. Before we get started, let me say the subscribers to this channel are very, very loyal. I know I would appreciate this. What I didn't realize is how much it means personally. It's a precious gift that I hope I never abuse. Thank you so very much. Sometimes someone will just click to subscribe, not knowing what the channel is doing. Then they realize it does not meet their desire and unsubscribe. There have only been about 10 such unsubscriptions in the last couple of years. May I ask that if you do subscribe and find this channel isn't what you want, will you hold off unsubscribing until we reach the magical 1,000 subscriptions? If we reach this number, we can sign up for a little bit of support from YouTube. If the number drops afterwards, it really doesn't matter. We hit the mark. I've done this myself, that is, subscribed to a new channel but find it's not for me, and waited for the subscriptions to pass the 1,000 mark before unsubscribing. It's a small thing on my part that will mean a lot to the channel. Now on to my 5 favorite tools that I use. Number 5. The Veritas Router Plane. This is a high-end tool. Most folks will start with a less expensive tool and work their way up to a level of a Veritas or equivalent tool. It's buttery smooth and does what it's supposed to do without any arguing. Many times the problem with inexpensive tools is that they argue with you and slip out of alignment when you least expect it. The Veritas Router Plane, when sharpened properly, is simply a joy to use. Number 4. You may think I'm short another tool, but I like using the Grizzly H7565 hand plane. I do want to get a better iron for it, but until then it means I have to sharpen a bit more often. I like the weight of the plane, and for me it's a good balance. I'm sure if I got a high-end equivalent, I would like it. But unless you're doing critical work, this is just fine. I have found that I need the better-made tools to start with, to learn what should be accomplished, and to build the muscle memory. Then I don't need good tools to accomplish the same thing. Granted, it may take a bit more effort, but often I can accomplish my goal. So for 99% of the things I do, I like the Grizzly hand plane. I do wish all hand planes will take the slop out of the blade height adjustment knob. I have even seen Rob Cosman cranking away on the height adjustment knob. If I ever bought a $600 plane, it better act like it had a rack and pinion steering on the height adjustment knob. Number 3. I think this was the hardest choice to make. It's easy to figure out my top 2 or bottom 2 favorite tools, but to pick the number 3 tool, for me it was hard to choose, and it took me literally days to figure out this one. I think it would be easier for me to pick my 10 favorite tools if I didn't have to rank them. But to pick the top 5, that was hard. But I would say the Harbor Freight Hercules 12-inch miter saw. It's fast, accurate, and has the torque to do the job. I hear that contractors are absorbing the giggles by bringing this miter saw to the work site. But the laughter is gone by the end of the day. I do like that shadow marking feature. Even Mrs. Old Farmer likes using the Hercules. I don't think she would rank it as high as I do, but some of my tools intimidate her a little bit. You know, I was the same way until I got comfortable with a particular tool. Number 2. I think anyone knowing me or having watched the channel for a while would think this would be on my list. The Harbor Freight Franklin Workstation. I use it all the time. It's a fast clamping tool, and I can clamp hard or I can clamp gently. It's handy to move around, and if you don't have a workbench, this makes for a good substitute. The way the jaws work, I can slide clamp something that is tall and do a side clamping of the piece. Where most other clamps, especially those in this price range, has a shallow mouth that makes it impossible to use for clamping some things. My favorite number 1 tool. The Farmall A tractor. To be honest, just about any tractor I got would hold this position. When I was looking for a tractor, I wanted one from either a Minneapolis Moline line or a Farmall. As for the Farmall, I really wanted that H so bad I could taste it. But it was too big for my needs. The H is almost twice as big. It wouldn't have fit in the garage, and it would have to be parked outside. So what I wanted and what I needed were 2 different realities. Besides, the A came with a blade and a 5-foot mower. Mrs. Old Farmer likes driving the tractor. I think she would be a bit uncomfortable if it was a Farmall H. These are my favorite tools. Tomorrow the ranking may be different. There is a runner-up, though, that I would like to mention. It's the Grizzly G1035 Shaper. I know that Rob Cosman doesn't like shapers. He says they run too slow and he's scared to use the shaping knives. I don't know if I will ever get to the point where I would use shaping knives, but I like using it as a router table. I can use bits with a 1/4 inch to a 3/4 inch shank. I can run it in reverse if I have a grain issue with a piece of wood. If I don't overfeed the bits, I get clean cuts and have ample power to do what I need to have done. I don't even remember chugging out the motor. I have with the bits, though. I bought a cheap set just like I did with drill bits. I can replace with a higher quality bit as needed. To be honest, I like most of my tools. If I didn't, I would get rid of it for something better. I like my tools that run off of my air compressor too. And I even like my Tecton metric combo wrenches. A good quality tool that does the job is a tool to get. Maybe 1% of us need the top tier tools. Granted, it's fun to have and it's a bit of an ego trip, but do you really need such a tool? Most times the answer is no, especially if it's an overpriced tool for the job. I see on Craigslist tools that sold for way too much, and the seller is trying to recoup the cost and the tools just sit there. If I bought a used Snap-on tool, I would pay no more than what I would for a used Harbor Freight Pittsburgh tool. I never pay for the name. It is what the tool will do and how well it does the job that I base what I will pay for the tool. Besides, I like my Pittsburgh combo wrenches. I bet most of us do. Before I go, let me ask that if you think this video has been helpful, that you subscribe if you haven't already and click a thumb. Leave a comment agreeing or disagreeing with what I said. but keep it for mixed company. And of course, let others who you think might like what is being done here know about the channel. It doesn't have to be everybody, but maybe your closest 10,000 friends might like to know about the channel. Well, this is the Old Farmer, Scott Boehm. Be well. Be safe.
Don't forget to click like and click subscribe on the Old Farmer YouTube channel, and thanks again for watching. Bye.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.